Well, happy Sunday, everyone. I'm Alison Ellison, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to our Sunday celebration service here at the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living in our beautiful Apple Valley community. We're so happy that you're here today to join us, and let's give a warm welcome back to Kelly, playing for Chris today. It's now time for one of our favorites, hugs and handshakes. For this next song, you are all welcome to walk around, dance, exchange a handshake or a hug, or you remain in your seat if you like, if that works for you. It's your choice. Don't forget the choir likes hugs too. So have fun, everyone. Take it away, Kelly. Wow. Okay. We are an all-inclusive center of love where we recognize and celebrate each person as a unique, divine individual. We view each person as an expression of the one Spirit in all. Together, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone. We teach and embody the science of mind principles to support the core values of love, healing, spiritual growth, oneness, abundance, and diversity. Welcome home. Thank you to everyone who is joining us online today as well. We are so happy that you're with us. And say hello in the chat box and let us know where you're watching from and how you're doing today. We love to connect with you. And thank you, Nicholas, for running the in-house service and our live stream. You are much appreciated. Now, I invite everyone to please join me in reading our opening community affirmation. It's in your program on the left side, also up on the monitors as well. Excuse me. I believe in one power, one living spirit, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. I believe that Spirit expresses through me, and it's the unity of all life. I believe that all thought is creative, and how I choose to think creates my personal experience. And so it is. Is there anyone here joining us today for the very first time? Please raise your hand so we can say hello. Welcome and thank you for being with us today. If you don't already have a welcome packet, you can pick one up at the table just outside the double doors on the right. And okay. All the ways that we connect with our center can be found on the back side of your program. So please take it home with you and keep it handy and connect with the office if you have any questions. Current events happening at our center can be found online and at the concierge table, so check back often. Today after service, join us in fellowship as we meet and eat. We have pizza, salad, and our monthly board meeting. All are welcome to stay. Starting this Wednesday, October 18th, from 2 to 3 p.m., we have a Zoom group that will be running for 4 weeks and is facilitated by Reverend Michael. Come experience a prosperity paradigm shift. Prosperity is ready to say yes to you. Are you ready to say yes to prosperity? It's limited to 8 participants. The fee is $45 per person. It's Zoom only, so it's not an in-house gathering. As a reminder, we have our Fall Talent Show this Friday, October 20th. Come support our friends and have a great night of entertainment. There is no cost. All are welcome, and you can bring your friends too. On Saturday, October 21st, our Sister Circle is hosting a field trip that is open to everyone. Lori and Brandy will be heading down to the Claremont Botanic Gardens and sharing a lovely day together. We also have the option to join us on Zoom at 10:30. Check in with Brandy or Lori at the concierge table. Also happening Saturday on the 21st, we have a work day with Frank and the crew. At 7:30, they're going to prep for a fire season, do some pruning and fertilizing. See Frank if you have any questions. On Wednesday, October 25th, Janet will be holding the Full Moon Drum Circle in the social hall. And doors for that will open at 6:45 and begin at 7, and the participation fee is $10. That is a fun time. Thursday, October 26th, we have Metaphysical Movie Night from 6 to 8:30, and the movie The Birdcage will be showing. Our Halloween-themed karaoke night is happening Friday, October 27th from 6 to 9. We'll be singing, dancing, and having snacks. This is open to everyone, and of course, costumes are welcome. This is a family-friendly event. There is no cost for the night, but we are asking for a love offering at the center, and we'll have refreshments for purchase. See Brandy if you have any questions. Right there. One more announcement to share with you, and it's our fall bake sale. Yeah. No, this is not a trick. Let's bake some treats and share with our friends. Everyone's welcome to join in. This is a fundraiser that's happening on the 29th, right after service and fellowship. This will not be a competition between the men and the women. It's for everyone to share their baked goods and goodies. We have a lot of great things happening here at our center, so please stop by the concierge table or reach out to the office. And now I'd like to welcome Judy St. Clair to come up and give us a little speech.
I just realized I dressed for the occasion. I didn't mean to. You see the little guys down here. Some of you know what they are. They're pumpkins. They're a jar. It's actually a container, like a candy jar. And this wonderful orange sheet says Thanksgiving affirmations. At this time of year, we've been doing this every year, and it's been a lot of fun. It helps you with your personal abundance if you follow through with this thing the whole way. What you do is you take one of those jars, you get your choice of either orange or white. You get to take it home with you. You get to keep it. But there's a condition. Each day, you read one of these affirmations. They're dated for one for each day. If there's one particular one you really like, you want to do that one every day, that's okay too. But it's all about your personal abundance. And it's not just about money, getting more money in your life. It's about all the other abundance you can receive in your life from many different sources and ways. It's not just one way to receive our abundance, there's many. In the process of that, each day, I want you to put something in that little dish, whether it's a coin, whether it's a bill, whether it's a check, whatever you want to do. And we fill these jars up. If your jar gets full and you say, hey, I don't have any more room in my jar, I'll give you another one. We can do this. It's a lot of fun. So how long do you have to do this labor-intensive job? 35 days. On November 19th is when we have our big Thanksgiving brunch together, where we're all together. We bring in stuff for Thanksgiving. We have a great meal that day. And then we take all our jars and we dump them into a big bowl, and you see just how abundant we are here. That's it. I'll be out there to hand them out to you right after church, and yes, you get to take it home.
And now our practitioner of the day, Tommi Jones.
Good morning. I have a job to do today, but before I do that job, I want to ask you guys to contemplate something with me. Have you ever had that experience where you knew something just wasn't right? You just weren't doing things the way you normally do it, and you couldn't come to a conclusion as to why that was. I've had that experience recently, and I want you guys to think about this because normally I'm a very outgoing, very outspoken, thunderous person. In the times that I've come to this church and I've been the practitioner, I've been somebody else. This morning, I'm going to be me. And I invite you to be you. See, when I've come here before, I've looked at you guys and I thought, well, what if I'm too loud? What if I'm too wild? If you look at the way I'm dressed, I still show up as loud and wild. So if my voice is that way, why not be me? I have something on my wall that says, you do you. Today, I'm doing me, and I invite you to do you. So when am I going to be me? Well, I got to go through this little reading, and I'll try to get through it and follow the directions. But when it comes time for me to pray us in, God be with us all. Okay? So please join me as we read Dr. Ernest Holmes' promises together. They are on the front page of your program. I keep the promise that I have made myself to affirm in this moment that I am abundant, healthy, strong, and happy. I keep the intention to daily speak this truth to my inner soul, telling it that it is wonderful and marvelous, that it is one with the great cause of life, truth, power, and action. I whisper these things into my soul until it breaks forth into the songs of joy with the realization of its limitless possibilities. I assure my soul. And now for our contemplation time with Kelly. I invite you to relax, breathe, and enjoy the moment. Paula Garib will now join me and light the flames of faith. We perform the Flames of Faith ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all beings, come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. The unity candle represents the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the first candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the second candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the third candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle, acknowledging all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principle. We light the 10th candle for inclusivity, affirming that all are welcome here. And we light the healing candle, the 11th candle. Please put silently into the light names of loved ones, knowing that they have the experience of Spirit's eternal love. So I invite each and every one of you to know with me there's only one truth. And that truth is that Spirit is all there is. Spirit is the Omega and the Alpha. And Spirit is in each and every one of us. We are the expression of God, each and every one of us. And it's our unity that makes us whole, but it's our individuality that makes us who we are. Know with me with clarity that each and every one of us, as we express ourselves, we are enough. We are the very best that we can be because we are expressions of God, and everything about God is good. And so everything about each and every one of us is good and even better than we ever thought. Today, know with me, in the presence of Spirit in each and every person that creates this consciousness, that we come together to create a world that works for everyone, but each and every one of us has to be a part of this, because without our presence, without our participation, and without our contribution, there isn't anything. And again, we are everything. How lovely, how wonderful it is to be in the presence of each and every one of you. Because your expression helps my expression helps your expression. And that's how we evolve. And that's what we're here to do. God created, Spirit created, Buddha created, however we see that higher being. It created so that we could continue to grow and multiply and become better than what we are today. So know with me that you stand here in this sacred place. But tomorrow, you will be something better, something more, because that's what you're here for today, is to be who you are today, knowing that tomorrow, you're better and better and better. I know this for me, and I know this for each and every one of you. I asked you at the beginning, have you ever had that moment where you just weren't yourself? You were you, but you weren't aware of who you were. Know today who you are. Claim it, be it, and be grateful in it, because that's the payment for what's to come. And there's so much more to come. Know that. Trust it. Have faith in it. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things unseen. Your unfolding is unseen, but it's happening. So know that. I'm so grateful to be able to express this, to share this, and to reveal this to anyone who isn't aware of how special you are. I'm so grateful for this and the more. I know that the words I speak right now, they are blessed, pressed down, stepped over, and overflowing. And because I know this, and I know that these words are ordained and come from a place farther than I can imagine, someplace deep within me and deep within each of you, that place we call namaste, I know that we are in agreement. And so because of that, I feel confident in releasing these words into law and letting them be so, letting them fly on gossamer wings from our spirit to spirit throughout. I would like to release these words, and I'd like you to affirm them with me by saying,
and so it is.
Amen, amen, ashe, ashe.
I did it. Good to see you. So the minister, let me know, all ministers' greatest fear. It's one fear. It's that the practitioner will come so alive in the moment and be so present and be such a preacher and a teacher and one with this that there's no way, there's just no way the minister's talk can even touch on that. So how do you build when you start up here? How do we build when we start up here? So Tommi was talking that she has some stuff going on in her life. Who doesn't? Who here has nothing? By a show of hands, who here has something going on in their life? Yeah, but something going on. We all have stuff going on. And we show up in community, and Tommi was asking for prayer earlier, and she said, I'm feeling I'm having a setback. And I said, what I'm coming to realize in this teaching is that there are no setbacks. And that if we look at a setback, if we really come to embrace it, embrace all of that, it's really a step forward. And so if we embrace the setback, the appearance of the setback is not real. That's the belief, and that's the story you brought to the appearance of something that looked like a step back. And so what Spirit always invites us to do is to step forward. To step forward. So if we embrace what appears to be a step back and we embody stepping forward, then we're in that higher consciousness that we talked about in prayer circle today. We're in that champagne consciousness where everything flows in, as, and through us. And that's the state of consciousness of this teaching. That's the state of consciousness of this center when each of us and all of us come together and leave all of that stuff that appears to be a setback in the parking lot. Leave it in the parking lot. And when you come through the threshold of the doors of this center, it's a whole new world. It's, you know, what is it? Disney says it's a small world, isn't it? Well, I'm not going to disagree with Walt Disney. He's created a pretty successful thing down here and brought a lot of joy to people. But it's not a small world. It's an unlimited world. It's an infinite world. It's an absolutely incredible world. And I was speaking with someone earlier today, and he used the word awesome. It's an awesome world exactly the way it is. This is an awesome world. This is an awesome teaching. This is an awesome center because we each are awesome. And so Tommi encouraged us to be our authentic self. So this morning I got up and I wasn't quite complete with the talk. And for the people online and everyone here, you belong here at HDCSL. And you are welcome here. But if you're looking for a place to belong, you don't have to look anymore because you belong here. And so I was looking at 4:30 in the morning, wasn't quite happy with the opening talk for some internet jokes about a refrigerator. And I found some internet jokes, but they're from the internet. And Tommi invited us to be our authentic self and not go from the internet, but to rip up what's on the internet and more to come from what's on the internet, right? I was going to throw these on the floor, but Brandy would give me a note, and the Sunday service team. I get more than enough notes. The one that usually shows up is you talk too fast. And Brandy, what I really want to say to you after 9 months, listen faster, listen faster. I love you. So maybe rather than listen faster, maybe listen from your heart. And that's the direct connect, where we move it beyond our ears and our intellect into our heart. So in Tommi inviting me to be my authentic self, I tear up what was on the internet, and I have a story that came from the internet. And it came to me, isn't this so cool? Ross and I he was sleeping on the way, mostly on the way up here, but when he wasn't sleeping, I said, you know, today what just dropped in was a story from my dad. A story from my dad. And what dropped in was, when the weather changed, the season of the weather changed, there'd always be a morning he'd go outside in Connecticut. It was usually when we were getting close to 30 degrees, and that could be as early as October. And he'd come inside and he'd say, oh my gosh, it's a change of weather. And he would say, it's refrigerator weather. That would be my dad. That's how we would say it's a change of season. He'd just say it once. He'd just say it once, and it's refrigerator weather, meaning, aha, we're moved into winter. And so my opening story is about a refrigerator. And it was so interesting. I had these really terrible internet jokes, but I liked them. And one of them was about a young kid staring in the refrigerator. And my mom used to say, make up your mind before you open the refrigerator door what you want. Don't stand there with the refrigerator door open. How many moms have said that to their kids here? Look at the hands. Look at the mom. Look at the momisms. We got momism going on here today. And so my mom said, will you make up your mind before you go open the door of the refrigerator? You're standing there for 3 minutes. So that was my mom. And so this internet joke came to me and made me think of my mom. It's a terrible joke, but I'm going to say it anyway because it made me laugh. And this kid's staring in the refrigerator like I did. I was that kid. And the mom comes down and said, will you make up your mind and close the refrigerator door? And the kid says, Mom, I'm looking at the orange juice carton, and it says to concentrate. I'm concentrating. Why didn't I have that wisdom when I was a kid? Why couldn't I have said that to my mom when all the cold air was rushing out? Why couldn't I have just held up the orange juice carton? So for those of you online and for those younger people here, if your mom asked you to close the refrigerator or make up your mind, just hold up the orange juice carton and just say, Mom, I'm concentrating. And that's what we do on this teaching, and that's what we do on Sunday, and really that's what we do in our life. We concentrate, right? We concentrate on meditation, and we concentrate on music. And we concentrate on being our authentic self. Yeah, we concentrate on letting it go, letting it all hang out, and just being present. And isn't that a good thing in a world that has so many restrictions and rules and conflict going on? That we get to hang out and be who we are. We get to hang out and be who we are. And I think that's the highest calling. I think that's the highest calling, is to answer that joy and that preciousness and that love within ourselves. And we answer that and call it forth by concentrating. By concentrating our consciousness on the aspects of love and hope and healing. And I love music. I love the music in the service. And so here's my story about kicking a refrigerator. A refrigerator repairman answers a call. Actually, a repair woman answers a call, right? We're shifting. Everybody's doing jobs, astronauts and presidents and vice president. It's no longer a patriarchal position. It's patriarchal and matriarchal and whatever we choose to be. And so a repair woman answers a call from a homeowner. My refrigerator's not working. And she arrives, and she looks at the refrigerator, walks into the home. She looks at the refrigerator, and she concentrates. She concentrates on that refrigerator. And then she doesn't open the door. She doesn't check to see if it's plugged in. She doesn't pull out her gadgets to measure the freons or the temperature. She just contemplates and concentrates. Gentleman says, what are you doing? You're here to repair my fridge. She says, I'm concentrating. Don't rush me. and she concentrates on the fridge, and then she stands back, and she kicks the refrigerator. And the refrigerator starts running perfectly. And the gentleman says, I don't know what you did. She said, I fixed your refrigerator. That's what you wanted me to do, is to fix your refrigerator. And so she writes up the bill. Repairwoman writes up the bill, hands the gentleman the bill, and he looks at it, and he's shocked. He goes, $75 for fixing my refrigerator? All you did was look at it and kick it? She says, I'm sorry. She rewrites the bill, and the bill then reads, the homeowner reads, $5 for kicking the refrigerator, $70 for knowing where to kick. Isn't that our teaching? It teaches us to know when to kick back and when to kick forward and when to kick our fridge. This teaching is about kicking the habit. This teaching is about kicking the habit, of seeing the world from our eyes only. This teaching is about kicking the habit of seeing from our eyes only, and we kick the habit of seeing from our eyes only by concentrating on the truth and on the principles and on the energy of this teaching. And when we concentrate on the energy and the truth and the vitality of this teaching, we come to see more clearly, more dearly, and more nearly from the I Am of One. And Kelly has agreed to accompany me on a song. And so our song and title is Seeing Clearly. And so, Kelly, here we go. And so Kelly and I were rehearsing. It's our first time working together. And so in the honesty of Tommi coming alive, I'm going to tear up the song, which I don't have memorized, and we are going to go on inspiration, and what comes out is going to be what comes out, right? So it's about releasing, letting go, seeing beyond what's written on the page of the music, and trusting, kicking the habit that I have to read the music, and trusting in the Spirit. And Kelly is giving me a look like, what have you done? I'm never working with you again. This is not the way I work. You know, this is not the way I work. We don't tear up the music, but that's the way Spirit works. That's the way Spirit works. So we ready to fly and see what comes out? And if everyone will stand up, and we have the lyrics. Thank you, Nick. These are most of the lyrics. We're going to sing fewer, but stand up, rock, dance, sing it out, raise the roof. Let's blow the roof off the sanctuary today. This is you being your authentic self. So fly with us. Day by day, day by day, oh dear Lord, the things I pray. Follow thee more clearly, follow thee more dearly, follow thee more dearly, day by day, day by day. Dear Lord, these things I pray. To see thee more clearly, to love thee more nearly, to follow thee more nearly, day by day, day by day, day by day. Oh, dear Lord, things I pray, yeah. Follow thee more clearly, follow thee more dearly, lean more dearly, day by day, day by day, by day. So, thank you, Kelly. I met Kelly here 3 months ago, and to have her on stage and bringing her music and her harp and her loving presence here, talk about being your authentic self. So sometimes we throw away what's written, sometimes we go with Spirit, and sometimes we come to see clearly and dearly into the truth of the I am that I am. Our opening quote is from Matthew, the first book of the New Testament. And sometimes we refer to Scripture. And I like to see the Bible as the old and the new, and Science of Mind as the now. We have the Old Testament, we have the New Testament, and we have the now truth, the now of the moment of this teaching. And Tommi was sharing, and I said, she said, sometime I get out of that knowing beyond knowing, that trusting beyond trusting, that ripping up the spirit, that ripping up the jokes, and ripping into the truth of I am, and ripping open that truth of who I am. It's time to rip ourselves open in a really wonderful way. It's time to rip ourselves open in an incredible way. Now we do that by letting go of what we can see and coming in to what we can feel and allow ourselves to be who we are. Kelly's doing it today. Tommi's doing it today. Allison's doing it today. How many of us today are willing to be our authentic selves in a way we haven't been in a long time? Yeah? Yeah, singing, everyone singing, and singing it just the way you sang that song was absolutely perfect. And so the Gospel of Matthew speaks about seeing more clearly and loving more dearly and following more nearly. And they say it this way, Matthew, Mark, and Luke all said the same thing. They were at different places, but they saw the same thing at different times in different places, and they witnessed the same miraculous thing. They were in different towns, they were in different decades, they were in different places, but they witnessed one man who was in all of those places when they were present. And what they witnessed was a man who saw clearly, a man who saw dearly, and a man who followed nearly the absolute truth of the oneness of the Father that he was, the Father within, the Father of heaven on earth, the Father of love and goodness and kindness. And so this is what Matthew says of his witnessing of this one incredible man who sang and danced and was with the people and the outcasts that no one else wanted to be with. He hung out with the people that you weren't supposed to hang out with because they didn't live in the right zip code and they didn't have the right annual income and they didn't have the right pension plan. And those are the people he hung out with. Those are the people he hung out with, and he hung out with them in love. And so Matthew had the great privilege of witnessing a man of that consciousness, and Matthew says this about seeing clearly, and that's our talk title. Matthew says what he witnessed in Christ's consciousness. Why do you see the speck that is in your brother's eye, but do not notice the log jam that is in your own eye? How can you say to your brother or sister or mother or father, I added that, let me take the speck out of your eye, when there is the log jam in your own eye and you can't possibly see? First, take the log jam out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to take the speck out of your brother's eye. Then you and the world will see clearly together. Oh boy, what a week. Yeah, what a week this has been. That was the week that was, but this is the week that is, all happening right here. So let's let go of the week that was and the headlines, and let's just be present with love. I don't know how to be present with the week that was any other way than being present with love. I don't have any other answer. If you do, I'd like to hear it. Because the world leaders don't. But we do. And sometimes we follow someone who knows how to lead. And sometimes we follow someone who knows how to love in a world that has forgotten how. And so Science of Mind, and for me, this applies to what's happening in the Middle East and all around the world. Science of Mind does not invite us to take sides, take up causes, or certainly take up arms. Science of Mind does not invite us to not get caught up in revolutions. It doesn't invite us to get caught up in revolutions. Science of Mind invites us to make welcome, conscious resolutions. Try saying that 3 times fast. Conscious resolutions is what Science of Mind is about. We are not about revolution. We are about conscious resolutions. That which I resolve in my mind comes to be co-created as the possibility of peaceful solutions. It is not about revolution. It is about the co-creation of conscious resolutions which bring about peaceful solutions. That's this teaching. Science and minders are possibilitarians who see clearly, who see dearly, and who see nearly that it's all about love. And science and minders are possibilitarians, and boy, what these possibilitarians see is the possibility of living from co-creative first cause. Welcome to Science and Mind 101. Welcome to Science and Mind 101. It isn't about class 102 or 107 or 202 or 303 or graduate classes. Science and Mind is about first cause. The co-creative first cause of peace first within ourselves. The co-creative first cause of peace within our own families. The co-creative first cause of peace within our own communities. The co-creative first cause of peace within our own nation first. And by being and becoming the co-creative first cause that Ernest Holmes lived and breathed and died into that consciousness of a greater consciousness. Anne, who's new, first day here today, and she asked me, I got a book out of the bookstore on Spirit Fair Day, and it talks about Buddhism and the belief of reincarnation. And I said, I'd see if I could address it in my talk, and if not, I said, I'll talk with you afterwards. So I think the answer here might be, for me, in the realm of, it's not necessarily about reincarnation, but Ernest Holmes, our founder, said he believed we went on and on and on in consciousness. And he believed that we always have the power of choice in physical form and non-physical form. So yes, if we wanted to come back to this life plane, we had the choice to say yes and come back. But he said, I don't plan to come back. I've already done the diaper stage, and I intend to move on into the stage where I expand into consciousness. I've done this life plane. I want to see the other ones. So that may address reincarnation, but for me, it's about, yes, there's a possibility, and yes, we can choose to reincarnate or choose to go on, but what the real power isn't in reincarnation. It's about creation. It's about creation right here and now on this planet. It's not about, reincarnation. Yes, all things are possible, but what we are not stepping into the possibility of on this life plane right here and now. I'm doing my best and I'm growing, but I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. And one day I'll be able to stand here and say, I'm there right now. I'm there right now. I'm there right now. Not yet. But one day, and a whole lot sooner than a lot of you might believe, it's not about what you believe about me. It's what I know is true about me. And what I know is true, I'm getting so close to this teaching that this teaching is living in and as and through me. And oh my, it gets more thrilling and more awesome. I think Anthony used the word awesome today. This stuff gets more awesome. I don't care what's going on. I don't care about what's going on in the world. I care about love and presencing love, and that's the awesomeness of this teaching. Reincarnation, yes, but co-creation, absolutely right here and now. Becoming the co-creative first cause within ourselves, our families, our communities, our nation, of peace on earth, and goodwill toward all. We will day by day, breath by breath, heartbeat by heart, collectively create a world that works for everyone with no one left behind when we start to see dearly. Seeing dearly into the knowing beyond knowing. And I was sharing with Tommi, and I'm losing that knowing. I'm losing that knowing. I'm not in the know. And I said, you can't lose the knowing because in the word know is now. And you can't ever lose the now. You cannot ever lose the now. How can you lose the now? It's right here. You can't lose what's here. The now is never lost. So in the word know, when you think you're losing the knowing and you're not certain that you know in the word know is now. And be in the now of exactly what's happening. And then you can never be lost. And you don't need to be found by a teaching, by a preaching, by a guru. You don't need to be found. You're never lost. That's this teaching. That's the 40 years in the desert people go through. So seeing dearly into the knowing beyond knowing, that we cannot talk ourselves out of the problems that we walked ourselves into. We cannot talk ourselves out of the problem on this life plane that we chose to walk ourselves into. Can't do it. Seeing dearly into the knowing beyond knowing that there is absolutely no ability like dependability. The dependability of daily spiritual practice. Are you praying? Are you meditating? Are you reading? Are you walking in nature? Are you turning off that television? Are you turning off that radio? Are you turning off your hearing aid and listening to who you are? What is ours to do day by day is to see more clearly, dearly, and nearly. Mahatma Gandhi was a person who came to see clearly, dearly, and nearly. And there's a wonderful story of Gandhi. A wonderful story of Gandhi. A mother brings her child to Gandhi and says, will you stand before Gandhi? And says, will you please tell my child to stop eating so much sugar? Well, all these mother stories today, right? Don't leave the refrigerator door open, don't eat sugar. It's Mom's Day here. And so, please tell my child not to eat so much sugar. It's not good for him. He eats it from morning to night. And Gandhi said, let me concentrate on that. Let me concentrate on that. And bring your boy back next week. And the mother's really perturbed. It's like, Gandhi, just tell him to stop eating sugar. He says, let me concentrate. Mother brings the boy back, and Gandhi says, I have concentrated on what you asked me to do. And he turns to the child and says, stop eating so much sugar. It's bad for you, just like your mother said. And the mother goes, why couldn't you have told him that last week so I didn't have to make the half-day journey to see you again? And Gandhi says, because last week I too was eating sugar. So, seeing nearly that which is right in front of us. Right in front of us. I had a question about an assignment this week in the Heartlight class, and the information was plainly in the email I sent Anka. However, she did not scroll down to see the information, so I sent her a second email and said, the information is in the original email, but you did not see clearly or nearly, you didn't see nearly what was right in front of you, what was right in front of you in the email. And so I sent it back, and she laughed, and she wrote back, and I love this. She responded, thank you, Reverend Michael. I missed the obvious. She missed the obvious, and isn't that what we often do in life? We get caught up in the obvious of the headlines and the obvious of fuel shortages and the obvious of food shortages, and those are appearances. And if we keep walking in the direction of those beliefs, we are never going to find ourselves walking in that heavenly realm where all is flowing perfectly. So those are beliefs, those are experiences, that they are not the truth. There is enough to share and spare in this world. It's only our beliefs that keep it back. And so she said, thank you, I missed the obvious. And I responded back to her, don't we all miss the obvious of this teaching? Don't we miss the obvious of seeing clearly, nearly, and dearly? For me this week, it was a server at Denny's. Ross and I got here early on Thursday. We had time to go to Denny's for breakfast, and we went to Denny's, and the server greeted us in such a way, with such love. She was my minister that day. And she greeted us in such love. And I said, we have like 40 minutes to have breakfast, get back to the center. She said, why? I said, I'm teaching a class. And she said, what's the class about? And I said, it's about possibility thinking. And she said, oh, I have so many problems in my life. I'd love to be in that class, but I have to work until 3. And so I told her about the center here. And she said, oh, it sounds wonderful. And when she left, I said, can I have your name and your shift number? Because I'm going to write Denny's corporate headquarters to tell them how wonderful you were. She totally accommodated us. She's totally loved us. She could have slammed that menu down because she's got stuff going on in her life. She could have given me a dirty look when I said, we're going to put our order in right now. Everything flowed perfectly. We got back to the center 2 or 3 minutes early. She was my minister that day. She was someone who taught me to see clearly, dearly, and nearly what a loving person I am, because she expressed that love toward me. I saw it in her. She reflected it back to me. She got a really good tip. So just saying. Just saying. Just saying. She changed my day by day. Who changes your life day by day? Who changes your life day by day? Thursday morning was a waitress at Denny's. So here's the thing about day by day. Here's the thing about changing our life. Here's the thing about changing our consciousness. Here's the thing about walking away from that which no longer serves us and tucking ourselves into that which deserves us, which is the fullness and the oneness and the goodness of spirit. You know, someday there will be war no more. That is not this day. That is not this day, but I see it, and I know it, and I see it clearly, and I love it dearly, and I embrace it nearly. And the more nearly I embrace it, the more clearly I see it, and the more clearly I see it, the more clearly I will be it, and the more clearly I will be it, the more clearly it will be in this world. And that's his teaching. What you see is what you be, and what you be is what you see. So some part of me is creating that energy on this life plane, and I accept that, and I own it, but I'm willing to re-examine it. I'm willing to know myself better. I'm willing to be my authentic self more. And if that's what Spirit is demanding of me, to heal this planet, there'll be no more, any more, then I am going to know myself better. And I don't care how many talks I have to write, and I don't care how many prayers I have to pray, and I don't care how many people I have to come up against that don't believe in this way of the world, don't believe in the way of love, don't believe in the way of hope. I do, and I am, and so it is. So here's the thing. Here's the thing about, I think her name was Linda at Denny's. Here's the thing about Linda, and here's the thing about me, and here's about the center, and here's the thing about you every minute of your life. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds to change the world. That's it. It's over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In 7 seconds, you make up your mind about a person that you meet. We have 7 seconds when someone new walks into this center to greet them in such a way, to be present with them in such a way that they decide to come back. Because if we don't greet them in 7 seconds, they won't be back next Sunday, no matter if they like the service or not. They will not be back. We have 7 seconds. You have 7 seconds. Linda had 7 seconds to size Ross and myself up. Maybe she sized up us as good tippers, and that's why she was so nice. You know, she was right. We are. We are a really good tipper that day. But because she tipped my consciousness from that tip of the iceberg of the problems of the world into that huge mass of possibility. And she reminded me I'm a possibilitarian, and I believe in possibilities, and I live possibilities, and I speak possibilities. And that possibility of the authentic I am. Good seeing you, Tommi, today. Good seeing you. Good seeing you, Kelly. Good seeing you. Good seeing everyone here. Good seeing you. 7 seconds. In our first 7 seconds, we decide if we like someone or not. In their first 7 seconds, they decide if they like us. When someone new comes in, 7 seconds to make them feel welcome at home. Online, you're welcome. Come visit us in person. You are so welcome here. Welcome home. I hope in our first 7 seconds you feel welcome. Spiritual community is the opportunity to see, hear, and love someone. Spiritual community is the place to be seen, heard, and loved. CSL is often referred to as the We Love Everybody Church. The everybody I'm learning to love is the somebody of myself. The everybody I'm learning to love is the somebody of myself. We are the Love Everybody Church. We do our best. Don't always make it. Sometimes in between weeks, there's some little bit stuff that doesn't look like love, but it's still love, right? We work through it. We hang around. CSL is known as the Love Everybody Church. The everybody I'm coming to learn to love is myself. I invite you to be the somebody who comes to love yourself, to be the somebody who comes to see yourself more clearly, nearly, and dearly, beyond the eyes of this world into the I am of the one. Here we go. Johann Sebastian Bach lost his little daughter, and then 3 sons, and then his wife. He remarried, and then he and his second wife, Anna Magdalena, lost 4 more daughters and 3 sons and 11 beloved children altogether. Many researchers have wondered, how could Bach manage to handle these losses? How did he not stop breathing? How did his heart not stop with pain? And most importantly, how could he continue to write music? That's the way Bach wrote music, 3-dimensionally, 5-dimensionally. Most of it write flat sheet music. That's how he wrote it. That's how he saw it. That's how he breathed it. And at the end of his music, at the beginning of his music, Bach said when somebody asked him, how could you survive this life and still create such beautiful music and still bring us in contact with the divine? And he said, I always wrote Solo Deo Gloria, glory to God alone. Glory to God alone. That was what he wrote at the end. Glory to God alone. Glory to God alone. Glory to the God of the somebody of myself that I am. Glory to the God of the somebody of myself that I am. Glory to the God of the somebody of self that I am. And at the end of it, he wrote, Lord, help. Lord, help. We got to ask. We got to ask. We got to reach out. We got to ask. We got to be present with that Spirit. Oh, man, Spirit is so here. You know, he changed the world. You changed the world. And 2 stories of Lord & Taylor department stores in the 30s, Depression, booming department store chain. They almost went out of business in the Depression. And Taylor went to prayer and asked for prayer. How do I save my company and save the jobs of my employees in a world that is in depression? I want to save my employees' jobs. I want to save this company. And he got an intuitive hit, and it said, add Lord to your name. Taylor department stores became Lord & Taylor, and they went on for decades and decades and decades and decades. He realized it wasn't Taylor alone, it was Lord and Taylor. Lord, help me. Lord, help me. Ask the Lord, ask the Spirit, ask that presence, ask yourself. You are not asking it out there, you are asking it in here. Taylor went in and asked himself, added Lord & Taylor, penny department store, still going today. Was called Penny Department Stores, hit the Depression, almost went out of business. Help me save my employees. Help me save my company. It's a good company. Lord, help me. And Mr. Penny went inside and he got an answer. He went inside and it said, change the name of your store from Penny Department Stores to J.C. Penny, Jesus Christ Penny, Christ Consciousness Penny. Help me, Lord. Lord & Taylor, help me, Lord. J.C. Penny, help me, Lord, to become the I am of the somebody that I'm coming to know. Ask, how do we live a life beyond the mundane of this world? We do it by living clearly, dearly, and nearly as one. Clearly, dearly, and nearly as one by our power to decide, to change our life by deciding to change our thinking. You're really good, Nick. We always have signals. Pull the ear to change the slide, because I am so tired of saying change the slide. Today it's rub the nose. Nick got every one of them. He's seeing clearly, nearly, and dearly today. You're seeing very clearly, Nick. Very good. I appreciate that. So here's what we do. Here's what we do. Decide what kind of life you really want, and then say no to everything isn't like it. No, I'm not walking that walk. I'm not talking that talk. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm saying yes to coming to the somebody that I'm coming to know. Yes, thank you. So here's a kid. When I was a kid, we caught fireflies in a jar. And we put him in the jar. And after about 10 minutes, you take the lid off the jar. And the fireflies don't fly free. Because they've hit that lid so many times in trying to fly free in 10 minutes that they limit their mind and their consciousness and say, don't be who you are. Don't fly free. You're now contained in this container of belief. And that lid that's no longer there holds them back. It holds them back for the rest of their life. What's the lid of the container of your beliefs? What's the lid of the container of your beliefs? Your lid, you don't believe in prayer? I do. And I put this on my ministerial exam, and to my surprise, I'm still part of CSL and up here today. I said, I don't know if prayer works, but I sure know it doesn't hurt. I don't know if prayer works, but I sure know it doesn't hurt. Still can't believe I got by with that one on the ministerial exam. But I'm coming to believe, I'm coming to see more clearly and love more dearly and follow more nearly the path of prayer. Prayer works. And I think maybe they saw in my exam that they're always leaving it in the maybe, and the maybe would be the absolute. So I've gone from the maybe to the absolute. Prayer works. I wouldn't be standing here today if it didn't. So these lovely aha moments, this is from my website, this week in the face of war. Those lovely aha moments when the I that is me becomes the I that is we as one. When Mr. Penny became J.C. Penny, when Mr. Taylor became Lord & Taylor, and when Michael said yes to Spirit. And Michael said yes to Spirit. We move from the I that is we to the I that is me to the I that is one. And here's what Ernest Holmes says about that. We need to face life in the light of a new truth, a new understanding, and a new conviction. Let's say a new concentration, because that works into my opening thing about the orange juice. So let's change it to, we need to face life in the light of a new truth, a new understanding, and a new concentration, like that orange juice, that we are in partnership with the infinite. Then we may receive direct divine guidance and know how to live as human beings, because we first have discovered that we are divine beings. That's Ernest Holmes. That's this teaching. That, by the grace of my work and my daily practice and my studies, I am coming to be. Bobby Kennedy said this of seeing clearly. Some men see things as they are and ask why. I dream of things that never were and ask why not. Bobby Kennedy said of seeing dearly, all of us might wish at times that we lived in a more tranquil world, but we don't. And if our times are different and perplexing, so are they challenging and filled with opportunity. And boy, if you've been here on a Sunday, and if you've been watching our live stream, and if you're watching our live stream, come here on a Sunday, because it's a whole different experience than watching a live stream. It's a whole different experience. Come experience this place. Come hang out with us. Then the word challenge is the word change. And the word challenge is the word change. And Bobby Kennedy said this of seeing nearly. Each time a man stands up for an ideal or acts to improve the lot of others or strikes out against injustice, he sends forth a tiny ripple of hope, and crossing each other from a million different centers of energy, those ripples of hope and daring, those ripples build a current that can sweep down the mightiest walls of oppression and resistance and war. You know, our talk title today was Seeing Clearly. Our affirmation this week, and I would like to invite each of us to stand today. If you would stand so we can say this affirmation together. Ernest Holmes invites us to stand. Bobby Kennedy invited us to stand in our truth, and I invite us to stand in our truth. I invite us to stand in our truth and say this affirmation together, and I invite us to say it from our heart. I see more clearly. And more dearly, I live more nearly. Let's do it again from that goodness of our heart. I see more clearly. I love more dearly. I live more nearly. And one more time. Let's say it for all of the world. I see more clearly. I love more dearly. I live more nearly. And I invite us this week to concentrate not on the orange juice in our fridge, but on our spiritual practice, on our spiritual readings, and on the spiritual truth. We are the somebody of the everybody of the I am that we're getting to know. You know I came to know myself better today. I can't believe I ripped up that sheet music. Kelly is going to be going into prayers of forgiveness, and I ripped up the jokes. And Tommi just stepped into that authentic Tommi that Tommi is, and it allowed me to step a little more fully into the Michael that Michael is. And if you leave here with nothing more today than that you are one breath closer to being the I am of the somebody that you truly are, then we've done our work. Be well. Stay conscious. Namaste. And if no one today has told you they love you, I love you. So ends our talk.
Excuse me for a moment. I'm concentrating. Okay. Whew. This is our giving time. Please take a moment to join me in appreciation for this beautiful community of our Science of Mind philosophy. We know that we live in an abundant universe. There is always more than enough to share and to spare. We use this time to open up the flow of abundance and circulate that energy with love and gratitude. Because we appreciate you and your contribution, we make it easy for you to give. In addition to placing your offering in the basket today, there are various ways that you can contribute to the center. Thank you, Nick, for showing the slides for this information. We appreciate you for supporting this center. Because of you, our services and this experience together continues to be possible, and the possibilities are growing. Thank you so much. Now, I invite the ushers to come forward, and we thank you for your service as well today. Please join me in reading aloud the Declaration of Affirmative Giving located inside your program on the left side of your program, and it's also up on the monitors. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of this spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly.
And so knowing that there is no need, there are only seeds of thought. A garden soil doesn't need anything. The soil of this center is so fertile and so faithful and so fabulous that when we move from need into seed, and we plant that seed in the fertility and the vitality of the soil of the center, this center blossoms, and we blossom, and life blossoms. And this teaching is about the blossoming. I'm reading it right off the wall of peace, joy, love, unity, plenty, and truth. That's what's blossoming here today. That's what's blossoming in your own way. And what's blossoming here today and in your very own way is the generous gift that you have put forth today. We move beyond needing into seeding. And this week I invite us to seed the absolute truth of becoming the somebody of the everybody that I am, and that you are, and that we are. And that is a bountiful prayer, and a blessed prayer, and a bodacious prayer. So I invite us to be bodacious this week, bodacious and bountiful and blessed, and becoming the I am of the somebody of the everybody I am. Thank you, everyone who stepped into that everybody of the somebody that they are. We saw a lot of it here today, and we're not even done here today.
Yeah.
So we'll see you for pizza, and see you soon. We love you. Thank you for your gift.
And as a reminder, our practitioner team is here to serve you. Please reach out and to one of our experienced licensed practitioners for prayer, especially if you're going through a challenge in your life. They are here to know the truth for you. We have a prayer request box in the garden room that is checked regularly. Our prayer team loves to pray for you and with you. Thank you, practitioners, for your service. You are greatly appreciated. Our office will be closed tomorrow and will reopen for normal business hours on Tuesday. So join us back here next Sunday, October 22nd, for another wonderful HDCSL celebration service as we welcome back Reverend Sherry Jeanette. I knew I was going to mess that up. Janan. Have a great week, everyone, and let's all make a circle and close out this wonderful service with God Makes Me Want to Sing. Take it away, Kelly.